A shadow crosses the corner of your eye. Your body moves before your mind does. Your shoulders pull in. Your breath catches. And only after all of that happens do you realize it was just a bird, or a curtain, or nothing at all. You flinched, but you didn't decide to. Something else did that for you. You have felt this 1,000 times and never once questioned it. A car backfires and you duck. A hand touches your shoulder in the dark and you spin around, heart slamming, before you even know who it is. You call this instinct. You call it a reflex. But what's actually happening inside you is stranger than either word suggests. Your brain has two roads for fear. Only one of them asks your permission. The first road is slow. It runs through your visual cortex, gets processed, gets interpreted, gets handed to your conscious mind for a decision. This is the road where you actually see the bird, recognize it as a bird, and think, oh, it's just a bird. It is careful. It is accurate. And it takes about 1/5 of a second longer than you have to spare if the shadow is not a bird at all. The second road is fast. It skips the careful part entirely. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping this pathway and gave it a name that stuck: the low road. Raw sensory information rushes straight from your eyes to a small almond-shaped structure deep in your brain called the amygdala, bypassing the parts of you that think in words and logic. The amygdala doesn't wait for a full picture. It doesn't wait for certainty. It sees a shape, a movement, a shadow with the rough outline of a thread, and it sounds the alarm immediately. If your brain is already running its own quiet alarms right now, hit like and subscribe. It helps more of this find you. This is why you flinch before you know it scared you. Your body already decided the shadow was dangerous. Your mind is just catching up. Why would evolution build something so imprecise? Wouldn't it be safer to think first? Not if the shadow is a snake. Picture an ancestor walking through tall grass 60,000 years ago. A shape moves near their foot. If that ancestor waits for the slow road, waits to be certain, waits to fully process color and texture and pattern before reacting, they may already be bitten by the time the thought, that's a snake, fully forms. But if that ancestor jumps first and figures out the details later, they survive being wrong 99 times out of 100 for the one time it truly mattered. The cost of a false alarm is a moment of embarrassment. The cost of a missed real threat is death. Your nervous system was not built by evolution to be accurate. It was built to be fast enough to keep you alive long enough to reproduce. This is the trade your body makes every single day, thousands of times without asking you. Researcher Robert Zajonc, working decades before brain imaging existed, proposed something that seemed almost heretical to psychologists at the time: that emotional reactions can happen before and independent of conscious thought. He called it effective primacy. You don't think your way into fear. You feel it first, and the thinking arrives afterward, often just to explain a decision your body already made. Later brain scanning technology would prove him right in ways he couldn't have imagined. The amygdala lights up in response to a threatening image in a matter of milliseconds, long before the parts of the brain responsible for conscious recognition have finished their job. There's a chilling way to see this in a lab. Show someone a fearful face for a fraction of a second, so brief that they consciously perceive nothing at all, just a flash of light. Ask them what they saw. They'll say nothing or something meaningless. But wire them to a skin conductance monitor and their palms will sweat. Their heart rate will shift. Their amygdala responded to a face their conscious mind never even registered. Psychologist Elizabeth Phelps and her colleagues ran experiments almost exactly like this, demonstrating that fear can be learned, triggered, and expressed entirely below the threshold of awareness. You could be afraid of something you never knew you saw. Does that unsettle you a little? It should. It means a part of your mind is always watching, always scanning, always ready to override you, and you are not invited to that conversation until after the decision is made. Think about what this means for your daily life. That flash of anxiety walking to your car at night, before you've even fully processed why the parking lot feels wrong. That jolt when someone raises their voice in another room, before you've registered a single word they said. That tightening in your chest during a tense meeting, before you could tell anyone exactly what triggered it. None of that is weakness. None of that is overreaction. That is 60,000 years of ancestors who survived tall grass, dark caves, and unfamiliar footsteps, still running quiet security checks inside you. But here is the twist most people never learn. The low road that kept your ancestors alive in the grass does not know the difference between a lion and a deadline. It does not know the difference between a predator and a passive-aggressive email. Your amygdala evolved to answer one question, fast. Is this dangerous? Yes or no. It was never built to distinguish between a genuine physical threat and a modern psychological one. So it treats them the same way. The same alarm that once triggered your ancestor to run from a predator now triggers when you're criticized in front of coworkers, when your phone buzzes with an unknown number, when you're standing in front of a crowd about to speak. Your body still thinks it's in the grass. The grass just looks like a group chat now. This is why anxiety can feel so disproportionate to what's actually happening, and also why it's so hard to talk yourself out of. You cannot reason with the amygdala directly because the amygdala doesn't speak the language of reasoning. It speaks the language of pattern and speed. The slow road, the thoughtful one, can eventually step in and say, this is actually fine, but by then your heart is already racing, your palms are already damp, your body has already reacted as if the threat were real. Understanding this doesn't shut the alarm off, but it does something almost as useful. It changes what you believe about yourself in the moment the alarm goes off. You are not broken when your body reacts before your mind catches up. You are not weak when a flinch arrives faster than an explanation. You are running the exact same hardware that kept a small, slow, mostly hairless primate alive on a planet full of things that wanted to eat it. That hardware doesn't know it's outdated. It has no way of knowing the world changed. As far as your amygdala is concerned, it is still doing its job perfectly. So the next time you flinch at a shadow, a slammed door, an unexpected hand on your shoulder, notice what actually happened. Notice the order of events. Your body moved first. Your explanation came second. That gap between the two, that split second where you were afraid of something you couldn't yet name, is not a flaw in your design. It's the oldest, most loyal part of you, still standing guard, still watching the grass, still trying to get you home. A shadow crosses the corner of your eye. You flinch before you know why. And now you finally do.